hello there. How you doing? I didn't see you come in. You were very quiet today. You guys were like stealthy ninjas, slipping into the stream. What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here. Hello. Today is Monday, the 2nd of May, 2022. And today is a momentous occasion because, ladies and gentlemen, today is the big rematch of the century. Darkside Phil versus Malenia. Hold on. If only I'd had that in my hand previously. How you guys doing? I know you're ready. I know I'm ready. Got some stuff to talk about today on today's PreStream podcast. First of all, we'll recap what happened yesterday. I'll give you a little up-to-the-date summary of what's going on. Is my camera not big enough? It looks like it's slightly off. It is slightly off. There we go. I was like, see a little space at the bottom there. Yeah, we'll talk about yesterday and what happened. Let you know my strategy for today, okay? I got an update on YouTube. Something that I've now learned about this that I didn't know before because it's distinctly different from Twitch TV. And I want to tell you guys about it. In particular, I went to add an emote and I can't. So we'll talk about that this morning. Some interesting game news. We have an interesting acquisition that has happened in the gaming world that a lot of people are abuzz about, and some people really think it's going to be good news. So we'll talk about that, okay? So good stuff to talk about today. I hope everyone's having a good beginning of your week. Today is a Monday, and that does mean, sadly, a new work week or school week or whatever it is for whatever you're doing. For me, it actually means the final streaming day of the week, at least consecutive streaming day, because I'm off tomorrow. After 6 straight days of streaming, I'm going to get a nice, relaxing day with my wife, which I'm very much looking forward to, and I will be back on Wednesday to tell you all about it. I always tell you all about our days off in the Phil's Day Off segment of the PreStream podcast when I return, right? So, welcome everyone. We already have a ridiculous amount of people on the stream for the PreStream because it's the rematch today, okay? So let's get to the subject matter at hand. I am currently in the hardest FromSoft boss fight ever, and also the hardest part of Elden Ring. This is the hype moments that people were waiting for years and years and years. Years and years? Okay, maybe not years and years, maybe months and months, I should say, because the game came out in late February. A little bit over-exaggeration and hyperbole there today. But anyway, how did it go yesterday fighting Malenia? Well, first of all, to make this clear, no summons, all right? Not using any kind of major hand-holding or anything like that. I have watched 0 videos of her before I fought her, and I have still not watched any videos or tutorials or anything. I'm trying to learn the fight on my own, and I want to beat it without using crutches, okay? That means if I summoned, it would effectively make the fight not even worth doing. Because even though summons are great in this game, and I'm not going to shit on anyone for using a summon, particularly if you're a newcomer to Elden Ring, or any FromSoft game, or if you're someone who is learning the game, go ahead and summon to your heart's content. But for someone like me who's been playing these games, you know, since Dark Souls 1, and has played the series over time, including Bloodborne, every Dark Souls game, Sekiro, I feel like using the summons would absolutely positively make it pointless. Like, where's the challenge in that? If I summon a Mimic Tier and it distracts her for half the fight, and I just run up and hit her from behind, wow, that was really exciting, wasn't it? I really learned the patterns, you know? So, some people do have an any means necessary mentality, and that's okay. If it's your own personal playthrough, and you're playing the game for yourself, go right ahead and play however you want. No one's has a right to tell you what's right and what's wrong. It's a single-player game. But I'm a content creator. I'm a streamer. I'm trying to put out entertaining content. I got to beat her legit, and that's what I'm aiming to do, okay? So to summarize yesterday's first big stream against Malenia, I started off with the dual-wielding intelligence greatswords build. It was pretty good. Admittedly, I did way better with the dual greatswords than I thought I would have, mostly because they seem to have a really huge poise and stagger, although I wish the damage output was better. So I actually got to her second form a good amount of times with the dual intelligence greatswords, but that's pretty much as far as I got. Whenever she got to second form, I would pretty much get destroyed almost right away, because mostly I would end up using all my health in the first form, or all my heals in the first form, I should say. So it didn't go so well. It went better than the hour that I had fought her previous, but it still didn't go so well. So I said, all right, why am I dicking around? It's time. Let us now start using a faith build like I said I was going to do all along. I said I was going to go back from the intelligence back to the faith build that I've been using for most of the game. And I went back to the dual wielding halberds. Okay? This was a build that I was using for a bit. It was pretty much absolutely melting everything in front of me, including bosses. So I figured, this is the way, right? This is the way. No, it was not the way. It was not even close to being the way. It was a red herring, essentially, like a big distraction from what I should have been doing. Because what I found out is that using these dual halberds actually is worse than dual greatswords. Now, I hadn't understood that. At first, it took a little bit of messing around, but what I realized is even though the halberds have slightly extra range at the tips of the weapons, so I could hit Malenia from slightly further away, guess what? They don't have the poise of the greatswords. So anytime that I was trying to hit Malenia and she interrupted, she would interrupt me completely. I wouldn't blow through her attack and interrupt her. She would actually interrupt me, leaving me open. So it actually was way worse using the halberds than the greatswords. I was like, wow, I never knew that. In the whole playthrough, I hadn't really been using greatswords that often, so I didn't understand that, okay? And so I feel like I wasted a whole hour to hour and a half yesterday of the stream trying to get these halberds work, and I was actually quite disappointed. By the end of that session, I was like, damn, I really wasted a ton. Like, half the stream was wasted. So then at the very tail end of the stream was like 30 minutes left to go. I respec again, and this time around I made it so that I was going to use 2 faith-based greatswords. The Blasphemous Blade, which is the one that I got from beating Rykard, and then the Great Order Golden Order sword. Yeah, it was like the Golden Order Great Rune sword. That's the one that I just recently got in the snowfields. There was an optional dungeon there, and the guy had the sword, you beat him, and you get the crazy good sword. So I was like, okay, now we're now we're gonna see what happens. Immediately when I start using the dual faith greatswords, I'm doing way better than the halberds. I'm staggering her a lot. My moves, when I do the jump attacks, it tracks. The funny part about the halberds is they just like, they flop all over. It's like, okay, the enemy's straight ahead. Let me try to attack. And if the enemy slightly moves anywhere, you completely miss like an idiot. At least with the greatswords, there's some tracking, so you can kind of turn in midair and slam down and still hit. So, I was doing way better. And I actually ended up getting to the second form more often. I was staggering her first form a lot. And I ran out of time. It was like, damn, I had a really good run where I got to her second form, and I still had like 8 health flasks. I'm like, oh, this might be it. But then the problem that I'm having now, and this is where I kind of ended off yesterday's stream, is when you get to the second form, she's got these stupid wings, okay? They're very annoying because they're huge and they cover the animations. So I'm trying to see, okay, what attack is she using so I can learn the attack animation and how to dodge it or counter it. I can't see the attack because all there's flopping wings, flopping all fucking over the place. It's actually quite annoying. And I wonder if they did that intentionally or like if it was just added afterwards and they didn't really care how it affected the visuals of the game, because it's actually really pissing me off that I can't see her attacks to learn them. And it's also very annoying that it takes so long to get through the first phase safely to get to the second phase. It's really a big time waster. It's a test of patience to finally get to the second phase and start trying to learn those attacks. Okay? Now, I will absolutely be transparent with all of you. I got a ton of messages after yesterday's stream. There were comments on the video, there were emails, tweets, people reaching out to me from all directions trying to help me with this fight. Tips on how to dodge the waterfall dance attack, tips on how to read her attacks and counter her, tips on using a special ability of my sword rather than trying to do riposts and stuff. I got a ridiculous amount of messages, and I appreciate that. Everyone's trying to help. People got my back. They know I'm going to die more, but they want to see me beat her. I'm happy about that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that support. That moral support is greatly appreciated. And what I will tell you is, we're going to try it out today. We're going to tackle this boss again. We're going to see how I do with my current strategy of jumping attacks to basically stagger her, get to the second form, trying to learn the pattern of the second form, and go from there. If I end up having issues, maybe I'll try some new strategies. Like, one of the major strategies that I've been told is to try to use that flame special attack that the Blasphemous Blade has, because apparently if you buff it, like if I'm drinking my Physic Flask, that's going to buff flame attacks and faith attacks. Excuse me. And if I'm using those spells like Golden Vow and all that shit, I'm stacking the buffs. Apparently that special attack will take giant chunks of health off of her, and you heal when you hit her. So that's good. I mean, obviously I would need to find openings to use it. I can tell you this, I did try it yesterday. If you remember, at the tail end of the stream, I was trying it. I knocked her down with it. And that kind of made me scratch my head, because most of the fight she has good poise, but I found an opening between her attacks where I hit her, and she actually fell backwards and landed on her ass. And I'm wondering if you can almost like stun lock her with that. If you have enough FP, can you do it like 2-3 times in a row, and she just keeps getting knocked on her ass because she's not doing a high poise attack? Again, I don't know. This is things to try today, okay? So, let's see what happens as we continue to play today, all right? It should be interesting. This should be fun, and we're going to try this out and see what happens today, all right? I'm hoping I can beat her today. It's a full stream again of Elden Ring, 3 hours. I really hope that I can defeat her today, because I would like to, this week, move into the end game areas of the game and maybe even review it over the next week and get it basically done so we can move on to new stuff, okay? So I guess we'll see. I'm excited. I know you're excited. We got 370 people on the stream, and I just started the PreStream podcast. We didn't even boot the game yet, so obviously you guys are excited for today's content, okay? Thank you for that. You know, since we have so many people on the stream right now, I might as well take this opportunity to throw it out there. Welcome to any newcomers. Sorry if you can't chat right now. It is a 24-hour sub-only mode to chat in my chat because of trolling. If you do subscribe to the channel today, you will be able to talk within 24 hours of when you sub, okay? Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Some really easy ways you can support the channel is to like this stream when you're watching it. By liking the stream, you give it engagement. That's going to allow more people to find the stream on YouTube and come check it out today, and it helps out DSPGaming in the long run. Of course, there's other ways you can contribute, like a membership, a super chat, a super sticker, a tip. All that stuff is great and supports the channel as well. I give shout outs for anyone who contributes, so thank you in advance to anyone who does. There you go. I got the plugs out of the way. Let's talk about the schedule for the week. So obviously this first stream is Elden Ring. All right. The big rematch against Malenia. Let's see how it goes. I hope I can beat her and move on and see the rest of the game. Okay. Tonight, the late stream, we're going to cool down from Elden Ring and have a nice chill late night stream of Bug Snacks, the Isle of Big Snacks DLC at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. I played this earlier in the week when it came out. I had a lot of fun with it for 3 hours, but I didn't beat it. Tonight, we're going to do the final 2 plot lines for the remaining 2 Grumpuses. We're going to do the remaining Bug Snack catches, because I think there's 3 left to catch, and finish it up. It should be a fun time. I've actually really enjoyed returning to the Isle of Bug Snacks, and I can't wait for more tonight. It's going to be a good time, okay? Awesome. Tomorrow, I'm off from streaming. It's my day off. After 6 straight days of streaming, I will not be here, but you'll have ample opportunity to watch and get caught up on all the stuff that I've been doing over the last week on demand right here on DSPGaming. Thanks to anyone who watches the videos. And remember, again, if you'd like to help out with the channel, you can always like the videos, leave comments on the videos, which helps for engagement. And the new feature that I earned this week is Super Thanks. It's an ability for you to contribute to the channel in the comments of the videos. You actually can contribute with either, it's called a super thanks. It's the equivalent of what's a super chat or a super sticker here on stream. And your comment will be highlighted forever on the video. All right. Thanks to those who in the last week have tried out this feature. It's pretty neat. And I appreciate anyone who does contribute via this method. Thank you. Okay. Now, when I return on Wednesday, we'll be continuing on with Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, because it's May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. I hope you'll join me for some Star Wars fun on the main stream on Wednesday. Wednesday night will be the conclusion of I Am Fish, the fun indie game that I've been playing for a while. It's the final stage where all 4 fish will be using their different abilities to try to take on a final challenge. That should be a good way to end up the game and give me my final thoughts and have a chill night. Should be a good time. Then on Thursday, we got a new game coming out. It's called Trek to Yomi. It's on Game Pass, so it's a no-brainer that I'm going to check it out. Seems like a really interesting stylized game. Samurai combat with black and white graphics. I'm curious to see what it is. If we play it and it sucks, I don't ever have to play it again. But it's on Game Pass. It's a new release. Might as well check it out. Okay, so that's going to be Thursday's mainstream. Thursday night will be Skyrim After Hours, where we chill in Skyrim for a couple of hours, and we're actually in the Dragonborn DLC. We just started it last night. 2 hours of chill fun last night, and I can't wait to jump back in more for more questing and more open world exploration. It's always a good time, okay? So if you're wondering, when is Elden Ring continuing? Well, I've now played it 2 days in a row. I'm purposely giving it a rest. We will resume Elden Ring on Friday, and if everything goes according to plan today, excuse me, hopefully on Friday, all right, we will be continuing on with the main game and getting to the final dungeon area and all of that, okay? I hope. I would like to do that. Seriously. Okay. So, that's Friday, and then that's the rest of the week. What's coming up? In a nutshell, let's summarize what's coming up. Well, once I beat Elden Ring, I'm reviewing Elden Ring. I'm doing an actual in-depth formal review of the game. Long form, I'm going to talk about all the pros and cons of the game, weigh them against each other, and let you know overall what I think, because a lot of people, I think, want to see an honest review rather than someone just kissing the game's butt or completely slamming it, which seems to be all that's all over the internet. I have not done a full-on formal review, I believe, since The Last of Us 2, so this is going to be interesting. It's been a 2-year hiatus to see me come back from that and do a review. All right. Then, once I complete either Elden Ring or Lego Star Wars or both, the next projects. Number 1, we're going to be starting up WWE 2K22, a game that you guys have wanted 2 months ago. And I told you I would get to it. We're finally going to get to it. First, we're going to do the very short showcase story mode, but then we're going to make a character and go into my career and start a my career mode. In addition to that, eventually I'm going to be doing things like sim matches and things like that. In fact, I have a really good idea for one that I can do for a special event in 2 weeks, which we're going to talk about in a moment, okay? All right. Then, also, I'm planning on doing one major stream of The Forgotten City. We have never seen the true ending of the game. We did all the alternate endings and not the one true one because it takes about 3 hours to do. It's like 2 hours of gameplay and then a lot of dialogue. So, I am committing to doing one full stream of The Forgotten City coming up so that we can actually see the true ending of the game. Okay? That's coming up as well. Awesome. And also this month, there's other new releases and things coming out. Like I already mentioned, we're starting Trek to Yomi. There's going to be an Evil Dead game. There's going to be other stuff to do that we're going to balance in there. As for night streams, okay, we're about to finish both Bug Snacks and I Am Fish, which is going to leave a space open. And I've been debating, gee, what should I do for a night stream? And I have a couple interesting ideas. We can either do some of the stuff we've already been doing and continue on. I could start up a new playthrough. Like I've really been wanting to do a second run of Mirror's Edge. The game from way back when, 2008, Mirror's Edge came out. That's right, 14 freaking years ago. And at the time, it was a groundbreaking game. The visuals were outstanding. The puzzles and platforming were outstanding. It was just a really good game, and I never did it justice because back then I was pointing a camera at my television, which looked terrible for the game. And by the way, the game was full of bugs and glitches. It would be great to do another run, okay? It's a very short game, by the way. It's only like 5 to 6 hours long. It's not like a super lengthy game. So I should be able to beat it in a relatively quick amount of time. So I got a few different ideas of what to do once we wrap up some of the games for the late night stream. So it should be a good month coming up. Now, as I just stated, next week the goal is possibly beat Elden Ring and review it. But in 2 weeks' time, a very hype special event will be taking place right here on my streams. Saturday, May 14th, it will be the 1-year Return to YouTube anniversary special. It will be a marathon-style event. I'll be streaming from the morning all the way into the night. We're going to do a variety of stuff on the stream, including DSP reacts to Down the Rabbit Hole Dark Side Phil. Yes, the Down the Rabbit Hole video about me, I will formally watch, react, and address, adding all kinds of supplemental information, telling you exactly what is true, which is most of the video is true, and commenting on it. but also correcting some things that are like half truths or false, or maybe elaborating on things to give more of a full perspective. Very similarly to what I did with the Wings video. Difference being this video is much shorter, but the other difference is I have unique information being the person the subject matter is about. So there you go. It should be very special, all right? But in addition to that, we're going to be doing a live episode of Feasting with the King, where I order food, and we have a big meal together. And you guys are going to be influential because you're going to determine the cuisine that actually we're going to order, and you're going to help me order that morning, okay? And then, for the second half of the stream, okay? The second half of the stream, it's going to be gameplay. And we came up with an interesting idea for the gameplay yesterday. Since I'm starting WWE 2K22, right, why not do a really fun sim match? Now, if you don't know what that means, the WWE games have this unique feature where you can set up a match with a bunch of wrestlers, whether get wrestlers from inside the game already or community creations. And people go crazy with these community creations. They make cartoon characters, comic book characters, celebrities, musicians, movie stars, you know, anything you could think of, zany, wild pop culture shit. And they throw it into the marketplace so you can get it and do fantasy matches, and the AI will actually play these matches. So you just watch, and you have no idea what's going to take place in an AI-controlled match, okay? Traditionally, the sim matches that do the best, all right, are the Royal Rumble matches. Usually 30-man, over-the-top rope battle royals, where no holds barred, all hell breaks loose, everyone tries to eliminate everyone, and you see all these kind of crazy, zany characters going at it. So I haven't done one of these in many years. And I was thinking, to celebrate my 1-year return to YouTube, that, you know, I've been on YouTube for a whole year now, leaving Twitch a year ago, and boy, have things been pretty good here, you know, over the past year, improved and everything, which is one of the things we'll talk about during that event. I'm thinking we should be doing a sim match, which will be very silly, all kinds of crazy stuff going on, all right? So that could be one piece of gameplay that we can do. Outside of that, I'm not sure what else some people have suggested. Maybe do some more Skyrim. We'll see. I got to think about it. We still have about 2 weeks to determine what exactly I want to do gameplay-wise for that event. But, yeah, it's going to be really special. I hope you'll be here Saturday, May 14th, for the marathon event. Should be a good time, all right? And that's as far as I want to go. I don't want to go too far into the future at this point. Let's talk a little bit about members here on YouTube because, guys, I found out something last night that pissed me off, okay? So, on YouTube, if you have a partnered channel like mine, okay, and if you have memberships enabled, okay, you earn emote slots for those who are members. You get to use emotes on the channel that are special to that channel, okay? At first, they start unlocking really fast, but then it slows down to every 50 members gained, you unlock a new emote slot, all right? So we were talking all about this, that when we hit 400 members, we'll unlock a new emote slot, right? And then we did, a few days ago, we hit 410 members. And I was like, wow, this is excellent. We've now locked into the Down the Rabbit Hole for the Dark Side Phil video and all of that. This is cool, right? And then we talked about it over the last week, like what emote should we add? And we narrowed it down to 3. The Rastafill emote, the two-parter dab emote, or the Devour emote. Those are the 3 that most people seem to want. And after thinking about it over the week, I said, oh, I think what we will do is we will use the Rastafill emote. Because the Rastafill emote is one that everyone can use whenever someone tips $4.20. That Rastafill animation plays. So why not have an emote that people can participate in that? You see the animation, oh, I'm going to now use the emote. It'll be a fun thing to do if you're a member, right? So I'm like, okay, this is going to be great. And I decided this last night. I go to add it, and it says, you still need 2 more members to add the next emote. And I'm looking at my jaw drop. I'm like, what? We had 400. What happened here? So here's what happened. All right? On Twitch, it's different than it is on YouTube. On Twitch, if you hit a subscriber milestone and you earn a new emote, that emote slot gets permanently unlocked forever, and there's no issue. On YouTube, when you hit a milestone, you have to add the emote right away. Because if you do, you lock into having that emote slot permanently. But if you don't use it right away and then you dip back below the milestone like we did, we were at 410, now we're at 398, you lose the emote slot again. That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. YouTube couldn't even copy what Twitch does correctly. They literally couldn't do copy paste correctly. They screwed it up. I want you to think about how dumb that is and how they just can't even copy their competition, right? So, guys, we need to get back to 400 members. And when we do, the moment we do, I swear to God, I'll have to pause everything and run over to my PC and add the emote. Like, I know where the emote is. I'm ready to add it. At a moment's notice, I'm ready to add it. But we need to get back to 400. Okay? So, please, hit 400 as soon as possible. If you had a membership that expired, please renew it. If you liked it, please consider becoming a member today. If you're not, there's so many benefits that you get. You know, I wanted to add that emote for today. It would have been awesome, and now I can't. We're locked into waiting until we hit 400 again. Okay? So it is what it is. It's really stupid. I can't imagine why. Again, it's so hilarious how YouTube operates, right? YouTube wants to pretend to be competition for everything that it's not. It wants to pretend to be a high-end streaming website, but it puts no effort into its streaming, and therefore it can't compete with Twitch. It wants to pretend like it's the new TikTok, but it doesn't have all the features of TikTok, so why would you watch shorts on YouTube? They do these half-assed attempts at stuff, and then they just, like, drop them and forget them, you know? It was just like I said yesterday, there's actually a couple high-end streamers who actually came out publicly. One of them in particular put a big video out that apparently is very controversial, stating they were offered millions of dollars to come over here to YouTube and exclusively stream here on YouTube. And they looked at the situation, the following that they have on Twitch, the fact that their channel is on an upward trend growing, right? Making big money, big views and everything. And they're like, so let me get this straight. I can take an immediate huge paycheck from YouTube to stream over there, or I could stay on Twitch and just stay the course and see what happens. And they outright said, I'm staying the course, and here's why. Even though there's immediate gratification to getting a big payday for moving over there, YouTube doesn't have the tools necessary to succeed, right? There's no discoverability on YouTube at all. You can't find people's content over there. There's half the tools that the chat wants that you get on Twitch, they're not here, you know? And I have to agree with them. They absolutely, positively need to step up their game. There's no reason why YouTube shouldn't be. Besides, they're bad, just management that doesn't work towards improving the site enough so people who make a living here can have a better experience. It's hilarious because I'll be using YouTube and all of a sudden a survey will pop up in the corner for me. What do you think about this feature? Do you like it or not? So I'll get a thing that'll pop up. What do you think about your community tab? Do you like it? Do you not like it? You leave a comment. And I always do. I always try to leave a comment and say exactly what I think about it. Usually it's positive. I think the community tab is actually a really good positive thing about the YouTube channel experience. Especially since I started using it in the last 6 months, people have given me nothing but positive feedback about using that community tab. So I'm happy that I started using it. But they just don't ask the right questions. You know what I mean? Like, they never once have popped up with, hey, what do you think about the streaming experience? Can you give me suggestions? I'd be like, yes, add all the things that are missing that Twitch has. What are you dragging your fucking feet for? I've been here for a year, doing this full time here for a year. And in a year, there have been a few awesome improvements. For example, sub-only mode. Because only subscribers can talk in my chat, I can control the chat, and it's not troll mode 24/7 anymore. That's awesome, okay? But outside of very few positive changes, last year, YouTube promised the world and never delivered on any of it. They said there would be gifted memberships. There still aren't. They said there would be better moderation tools. There still aren't. They said that there would be ways to track users' activity. You still isn't. All these things they promised 6 months ago don't exist. But what are they doing? They're working on fucking YouTube Shorts. Anyway, it is what it is, okay? I'm upset that we can't add the Raw State Fill emote. I wanted to add it for you guys today. Can't do it. If we hit 400 members, great. Please consider becoming a member today. All right? All right. As for news stories today, we have one big one that I'd like to talk about. I actually screen capped one of the articles about it so that I could talk about it in detail here. Here it is. As of today, Square Enix has sold off Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal and the Square Enix Montreal studios to a company called Embracer. They also sold major IPs, including Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Thief, and Legacy of Kain. Okay? So if you're interested in any of those games I just mentioned, and you're wondering why has there been nothing going on with them, it's because Square Enix lost faith in them. They actually, a few years ago, outright stated they're not making any new Deus Ex content, that they just don't feel that there's a need for it or anyone wants it. Okay? Now, why did they do this? Why would they sell off this stuff? Okay? Here's what they actually publicly said, if you can believe this. Square Enix says the deal enables them to have the launch of new businesses by moving forward with investments in fields including blockchain, AI, and the cloud. A game company that makes video games, okay? This is their bread and butter. This is what they do. They have many popular franchises and things under their umbrella. Has decided they want to sell major franchises to finance investments in blockchain, AI, and the cloud. Because as you know, there's been so much positive response to blockchain in gaming recently, right? Oh, yes, those NFTs are doing so well and that we had to think of how we can implement them even more, okay? Now, AI, if you're telling me that this means that they're going to develop better AI for games, I mean, I guess that's cool, because that could be implemented across the board. Imagine if Square Enix finances development of game AI that's so good that now it's a unique AI engine, not only for all Square Enix games, but it gets licensed out and all games have better AI. I guess that's a good thing. I'm actually not going to hate on that one if that's what they're saying. If they're saying, forget video games and we just want to make an artificial intelligence for fuck's sake, just to do it, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? And then the third one, cloud. The cloud. That's so generic. That could be, we want to have a proprietary way to upload game saves for our games to a cloud system. It could be, we want to have a way to have our games streamed live from the cloud better than anyone else does it because, Google Stadia tried it, they failed, and PS Now tries it, it fails. We want to do something better. It could be, the cloud is so generic that you don't even know what that means, all right? But definitely, when you say blockchain, right? When you say blockchain, and that's how you start your statement, we sold all this off to finance blockchain. It's like, so your guys are a bunch of blockheads. You're fucking idiots who haven't listened to anything that the gaming community has said in the last year about NFTs, and you're just going that way because you think it's going to make you more money rather than listening to your customer base. So you're idiotic, greedy morons. Okay, we get it. Thanks for telling us, Not like we would have known that over the past year when every game that came out was mismarketed and you said, did not reach expectations, did not sell to expectations. It's because you're stupid. You didn't market them right. Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the best games of 2021 and no one knew about it because you were so butthurt about Avengers sucking ass and failing, you didn't even talk about Guardians, right? But let's blame the games instead of the management. So in my opinion, this sounds to be another big mismanagement move. Now, how much money do you think Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal, Square Enix Montreal Studios, as well as the IPs of Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Legacy of Kain, Thief, and a few others should sell for? Oh man, I mean, those are big selling franchises, some of them. Now, yeah, things like Thief and Deus Ex have been on the shelf for a very long time, but Tomb Raider recently had a trilogy that did pretty good, right? So you would think that these would sell for top dollar. Well, guess what? They only sold for around $300 million. I mean, for us, that's a lot of money. But in the realm of big business, it's really not. People are saying this is a steal of an acquisition because these franchises could be rebooted and started up again or just continued because they sold in their entirety. It's not like, oh, you just got the licensing deal. No, they own these IPs. They can do whatever they want with them. So you could now have all these franchises restarted, and become popular again because Square Enix lost faith in them, and now maybe under new management they'll do well. You know, who knows? Now, it's important to note, and Expandong just said this in the chat. I was going to get to this. Embracer, that's the name of the company that bought all this stuff for $300 million, is actually the name that THQ Nordic does business as. THQ bought those studios, which is hilarious because just a few years ago, THQ went out of business and got bought by another studio. So it's an endless cycle of failing and then sucking, but then it being bought by someone else and then coming back, and now it's like a Cinderella story, right? If you want to know my take on it, I actually think that having a new group of leaders behind you, because obviously they're not going to buy your stuff and then just fucking trash it. Why would you buy it if you're just going to throw it away? Obviously, THQ Nordic / Embracer has a feeling that these franchises have worth and these game studios have worth, and they're going to have them do stuff because right now they're sitting on their asses. So let's do it, right? I would love to see a new Deus Ex game. It's been a long time. Let's be honest, the last one was good, but kind of didn't live up to expectations, and after that, it just kind of stagnated, and no one really cared about Deus Ex anymore. Time to reboot it, right? Or let's get it going. Let's get it continuing. I want to see Thief come back. That last Thief game was terrible. It was a good game, completely bereft with bugs and issues. It would have been so much better if they had more time to actually work those out, but Square Enix, I gotta get that fucking game out, rush that shit out, a piece of dog shit. So I'm excited for this, actually. I feel this is good news. I really do. At least in the half of, okay, the game franchises now have a new home and maybe they can be revived and refreshed and actually done better. I don't really care about Square Enix making a $300 payday to fucking invest in NFTs. To me, that sounds like they thought that those game studios were just like extra fat on the bone that they didn't need, and they felt they were expendable. So they did. They basically sold them off. They expended them. Boop, get out of here. So that they could have money to throw away and invest in junk that they're just going to piss it away. That money's going to, nothing's going to come of that. If it's really being invested in NFTs, you might as well have just fucking rolled and smoked the dough. Because no one's going to care about NFTs, man. So dumb. All right, anyway, that's the one major news story for today, okay? So in reality, that's all I really have to talk about on the PreStream podcast. So if you guys have any topics you'd like to talk about, I'm going to open up the stream chat to Q&A. We have one shout out to do. I've received one contribution so far on the stream. So let's shout it out quickly. Shout out to, no, that isn't even right. It didn't update. My leaderboard did not update. The shout out is from, oh my God, I can't even read it. Something Snake. Metal Snake 5500 did a super chat and said, have you tried out the new Dr. Pepper Dark Berry? No, actually I saw an ad for it on television. And I want to try. I like Dr. Pepper. A lot of people don't like Dr. Pepper. They think it's different from regular from regular soda. I think Dr. Pepper tastes pretty good. It's funny because for years I never knew what it was supposed to taste like. I just liked the taste. And then all of a sudden someone was like, yeah, it's supposed to be like cherry. And I was like, cherry? When I drink Dr. Pepper, I don't think cherry. All right, but I like Dr. Pepper. I would like to try the new flavor, but we'll see if I have opportunity to do so. The thing is, probably restaurants and stuff won't have it. Congrats, fan of Lovecraft. I'm very happy to hear that you passed all your final exams, man. Awesome. Good for you. Time for a break now, right? You get a break? All right, shout out to Fruits07. We just did a super chat and says, what's an NFT? I never understood. It's complex, but let me try to summarize it. I'm going to very, very, very oversimplify it. Don't take this as the end-all, be-all example or explanation. So let's say, for example, you have a game. And that game has cosmetics, like, oh, you know, you can put on a shirt on your character or whatever. An NFT would be if you could get a unique shirt for your character that only you own. No one else can use that shirt in the game. You uniquely own it. And to make sure that no one can copy it, there is a unique calculation going on behind the scenes that's basically like a secret code that no one else will know. And that secret code only you know. But it's changing constantly to prevent people from stealing the rights to that shirt that you bought for your character in a video game, okay? That's called blockchain. It's this calculation that's constantly going on behind the scenes to keep it unique in your own, all right? Like a unique identifier number that's constantly changing so no one else can own what you own. Now you might say, what's the point of owning a shirt in a game that no one else can own? Well, imagine if you bought a unique work of art that only you have in your house, right? You have the one original one. You have the rights to it because you own it physically. In this case, it's not a physical owning. You own a digital piece of content uniquely, okay? Now, some people have said, well, this is fine if all you're doing is, buying it for yourself. But what these companies are approaching it as, which I feel is really stupid, okay? They're saying, oh, these are investments, because what you can do is you can buy items in a game, you can buy clothing in a game, you can buy things that are unique, but then when you're done with the game, you can resell them. And it's an investment because you can resell them for more than you bought them for, and now you've made money on it. And it's hilarious because some of these companies are actually saying things, as dumb as this sounds, saying NFTs are the wave of the future when it comes to investing. Like, you can make money on NFTs, and gamers are going to want games with NFTs because if you play a game that has NFTs in it, you can make money while you play your game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but when I look for a game, all right, a video game, I look for a few interesting factors. How much gameplay is there in it? The quality of said gameplay, the graphical performance, the story. There's a lot of factors. Does it have multiplayer? Does the multiplayer work? Is the game functional? Is it full of bugs? One of the things that I don't care about is, does the game have fucking NFTs in it that maybe at one point I can resell for a profit? But that's actually what these game companies are thinking. Now gamers are going to think of games as investments, and when you buy it, you'll earn NFTs or buy NFTs in it that you can resell for a profit. And this is what they feel is the wave of the future. Do you want to know why? Because they see more money in it. They think, oh, we can actually make a lot of money investing or implementing these NFTs into video games. Okay? It's incredibly stupid. 99% of gamers will never care about NFTs. There will be maybe a small group, just like everything. There'll be a small group of people who are invested in it. Oh, I can put money into it and make more money. That sounds good. It's like fucking Shark Tank with video games. Investors want to throw money at shit in video games hoping that it'll eventually become profitable for them. But it's dumb as shit. It's not the spirit of what people are doing when they make games or play games. Essentially what these companies are saying is, we want to change the reason you game. We want you to make money rather than actually have a good gameplay experience, right? How dumb. I think it's completely stupid. I really feel it is. But that's where games apparently are heading. Square Enix just did a business deal to fund it for $300 million. Wow. All right. Shout out to AmpZ, who did a €5, or is that a £5? I think it's a £5 super chat. And they said, I need banana, tasty banana, put banana in my mouth. Squeeze the peel, it comes out, and then squeeze banana. I have no idea if that's how it's supposed to sound. Apparently, I sang that song when I played Donkey Kong 64 a couple years ago. But people keep super chatting it, and I keep trying to re-sing it. I have no idea if that's what it sounds like. See, I don't know. Someone just said sing it like Donkey Kong 64. I don't know how I sang it 2 years ago. You think I fucking remember that? Of course I don't. Donkey Kong 64 is just a big black crater in my memory. It's smoldering. I don't want to remember that ever. I destroyed those brain cells purposefully. Okay. Let's continue. Zoya did a super chat. It says, at 40, would you say that you're more mature? Well, wait, no. Not more mature, just mature. Am I fully mature? Fuck no. I don't think anyone ever wants to be fully mature. To be fully mature means you're kind of boring, you know? You always want to have a little bit of silliness, irreverence, over-the-top humor. Having a good sense of humor is a part of life, and I feel when you say mature, it means you're kind of like, you don't have that feeling anymore. You know what I'm saying? At the very same time, absolutely, I feel like I've matured over the years. I'm very different now than I used to be. My content has a different format. My content is more professional level. there's just so many things that have changed, and I'm not going to sit here and talk about it for 40 minutes. But thank you, Zoya, for the super chat. Oh! Excuse me, that was a very mature burp. Let me tell you guys, that one, I really practiced doing that in a mature fashion. Okay, I received an anonymous $20 tip. Thank you so much for getting the tipping started today. They said the following. Best of luck on Malenia. I beat every boss in the Souls game solo, but I had to tap out and get a mimic on her. I have faith that you will beat her today. Well, thank you so much. It seems like people really are rooting for me. Although, you know, people definitely want to see me die more. I think this is a rare case where actually people want to see me overcome and actually succeed in the end, which I hope I can do today. I would love to do that today. Okay? Cool. Squeeze the banana, tasty banana. All right, I don't know how the song goes. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm now going to open up the stream to Q&A. If you would like to talk to me, please tag me in the stream chat, all right? Or if you contribute in any way, those get shout-outs regardless. So let's see what people have to talk about today. Master Zen says that's exactly it. It's more enjoyable to watch. You mean me trying to persevere against Malenia without summoning. That's what I figured. What's my opinion on the fall of the Roman Empire? Awesome. It was really cool. No, I'm not going back and replaying Donkey Kong 64, Haseo. Never. I don't even know what you're talking about. That game doesn't exist. You guys, this is one of those Mandela effect moments. You think the game's real. It's not. I'm telling you. What's my opinion on the future of Xbox and PlayStation? I think that they'll continue to make consoles until they're not profitable. It's that simple. Right now, they're still very profitable, so they're not going to stop. How are my hands feeling after the Malenia fights? They're fine. There's times in Dark Souls when your hands start to kill you, for sure. But this fight isn't. The fight is tough, but not for like this. Okay, the boss is very difficult, but I feel like this is a fight that if you dedicate enough time to, and you're actually someone who can learn, it's a fair fight. Are there things against you that are completely unfair in the fight? Yeah. It's ridiculous her damage output. It's ridiculous she heals when she hits you. It's ridiculous she has that stupid waterfall bullshit. But I feel like it's a winnable fight. It's not a fight that's going to cause me to go crazy over the top with rage because I think I can beat it if I apply myself to it. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it would be possible to have Papa Burnell in a future episode of Q&A co-op playthrough of a retro game? You mean my dad? No. He lives in Connecticut on the other side of the country. He can't travel because he has health issues, and he hasn't played a video game since the Atari. Why would he want to play a video game with me now? The answer is no. I absolutely know it's never going to happen. I mean, I've been doing content on the internet for 14 years. If you haven't noticed, my parents haven't been in a video yet. They're probably not going to be in one now. If they wanted to be, they probably would have said something. No, I've not tried new Pepsi Nitro. People think it's a draft cola. That sounds interesting. Am I aware of a Call of Duty and memology on me? I don't know what Call of Duty is at all. Memology is that fucking guy who for years has been lying about me. Like, he always makes drama videos that are complete bullshit. Over-the-top exaggerations, things that are just factually not true to get clickbait views on YouTube. And I'm not down with that. It's one thing to factually cover stuff. It's another thing to actually just lie. Like videos where he says, Phil rage quit a game, and I didn't even rage quit it. I was angry at the end. I had to end my stream normally. The next day I booted it up and kept playing it. I didn't rage quit it, and I was one of the few people to beat that particular game. The guy says I rage quit. It's like, dude, you are the lowest of low if you have to actually just fucking lie to get views. Trust me, there's enough you can make content on that you don't have to lie. You're just a scumbag, loser, idiot. And I don't like it. So there you go. Malekith, why would you even ask a stupid question like that? There's 5 zillion drama videos on the internet about the subject matter you're talking about. You choose to ask me. If you want to have an answer, go watch shitty drama videos that are come from fucking bullshit. I'm not answering the question because it has nothing to do with me or my content at all. It's nothing. It's drama. I don't deal with that shit. With the announcement of Knights of the Old Republic remake, any chance we'll get Knights of the Old Republic 2? Maybe. I'm not against it. I'm definitely not against it. I played Knights of the Old Republic 1 2 years ago, and it was a good playthrough for sure. I got to see the origins of where future games came from BioWare. You could see things from Dragon Age and Mass Effect kind of pulled from Knights of the Old Republic. But there has never been mass requests for it. I could play it right now if I wanted to, but there's no one really going crazy for it. Have I ever wanted to react to my Cooking with the King videos? I already did. Before people were clamoring for me to react to stuff in a formal format, we used to do retrospective marathons where I would sit there and watch stuff from my past that I created that people wanted to see me react to my old content, and I used to do entire marathons of this, and we already did all the Cooking with the King videos. So you gotta go search for those retrospective events and you'll see me reacting to that content. Really? Gex was sold? The Gex IP was sold by Square Enix. Expandong wants a Gex remake. I never played Gex. I knew all about it. I read about it in magazines in the 90s, like EGM and stuff. I saw all about it, but I never played it. Happy Monday to you, Guts. Thank you. He says good luck. Banana or apple? Today in the modern... Let me think. If I had a choice, can I eat a banana or an apple? Which would I want to eat? Oh, man. They're both good in different ways. Banana's kind of mushy. Right? Apple's more crisp and fresh and has a sweeter flavor. Bananas you can do... I'll say apple. I like apples in more things than bananas. There you go. Donkey Kong's Furry Dong has tipped me $1.50. Says, when you do showering with the king, the top donator can come into the shower with you. Let me think about that for a quick second, because there is a distinct possibility that maybe something like that... No! You sick freak! Thanks for the tip, though. But that's a disgusting, revolting suggestion. I would never even consider it. You weirdo. A literal who? A literal who just did a super chat. Whatever that means. That's his name. A literal who? What in the fuck does that even mean? I have no idea, but thank you for the super chat. What a name. I give your name a literal, huh? I don't get it. When was the last time I had fruit as a snack? Not too long ago. We just bought apples. Yeah, we just had apples a couple weeks ago. So probably a couple weeks ago. Yeah. How much money would I want to potentially play Sea of Thieves with wings? So you want me to play a game that when I played it many years ago when it launched, it was a piece of shit. It was boring. It had no content. Okay? The game has been infamously known for trolling. It got, actually, without me playing it, it got known on the internet for infamous trolling, people not being able to enjoy the game because people are trolling constantly. Alright? You want me to play that with Wings of Redemption. Arguably one of, if not the biggest targets of trolling on the internet. That's what you want me to do. No. I will not do that. It's a waste of my time. Hiseo did a super chat. Says, are you looking forward to the Darkstalkers collection? Will you upgrade the PS Plus plan or stay current since it's getting closer and closer? Well, I am looking forward to Darkstalkers. It's not the Darkstalkers collection. It's the Capcom Fighting collection. Hold on. It is coming out in late June. It includes several different versions of the Darkstalkers fighting game franchise. It also includes Hyper Street Fighter 2, which is an amalgamation game that includes all versions of characters from all 5 games of Street Fighter 2 into one competitive mix. But it also features other games like Super Gem Fighter plus Gem Fighter Mini Mix plus Red Sun, Red Dawn, Red Shit. I keep forgetting the name of that game, and a few others too. But most of the games, the 2 real competitive games in that collection are like Vampire Savior and Hyper Street Fighter 2. Like the other games are going to be fun to have in there and mess around with, but I think those are going to be the 2 that everyone's going to play online. And yes, I am excited for it. I'm excited to jump in and try a new collection. It's going to be much better than Street Fighter 30th Anniversary. It can't be much worse, okay? But, will I upgrade my PS Plus plan? There's no reason to. Unless I'm going to play retro games, there's absolutely no reason for me to upgrade it. I'm not going to really take advantage of much on there. So the answer is no. Miyu Amaha did a super chat saying, hope the fight goes well. Thank you, Miyu. Toasty Ghost did a super chat saying, bum burn. No. Bum bum. Boodle doo-doo. Beats. What the fuck? What are you guys talking about? I swear you're just trying to make me say stupid shit. What the frick does that mean? Hurricane and Jasper, they're great. They're great. They're doing fine. Thanks for asking. Give her... Turtle says, give her shell. And he has a fencing icon. Hardest FromSoft boss? Probably Malenia, right? If you think about all the bosses that FromSoft have put out up to now, this boss has all the things that are annoying. Healing when they hit you, right? So if you make one mistake, the boss gets its health back. Uninterruptible, undodgeable attacks like the waterfall dance, right? RNG that's really annoying. Because you could have a run that's going really well, and then she just says, oh, waterfall dance, fuck you, you're dead. Well, you ruined my run, nothing I can do about it. And a second form, that's annoying because you have to get through the first form to get to it, but you can't really see the second form that often, and then when you get to it, you can't tell what's going on because the wings have too many effects on them. So it's kind of like every annoying thing combined into one super boss, right? Haseo says that you get really close to finishing Bugsnax. Well, the Bugsnax DLC, you go to a new island. And this island has all these different areas to explore with puzzles kind of in each one. And there's all these new Bugsnax to try to figure out how to catch. Just like in the original game, you have to play them off each other with elements in the light to get them to kind of like light each other on fire and knock each other out, and then you can capture them. Then you have 4 Grumpuses that came with you, and each one has its own plot line. And you have to complete the plot line to unlock more things to do. Like, for example, there was a temple I couldn't get into, but then a Grumpus walked over there and a turret showed up, and I was able to do something with it. I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So far, I've done 2 of the Grumpus plot lines, but I've fully explored the island area and captured most of the Bugsnax. So I think we're going to beat it tonight for sure. Probably take about an hour, hour and a half, I would think. Okay. My favorite RPG of all time, it's a triple tie between Final Fantasy IV, 6, and Chrono Trigger. I think all 3 of them are insanely amazing games from the 90s, from Square Enix. Also, they were called Square Soft by then, not Square Enix. And none of those games do I ever feel like, oh, you know, I wouldn't want to play them. Like, at any moment, I would drop everything and play them if I could. I love those games. They're so good. So there you go. Hooked on Phoenix, yes, I would be surprised if after we kill Malenia, you get wings like Kratos and you could double jump. I don't think that's going to happen. Just saying. Can I imagine trying to beat Malenia on New Game Plus? Sure, but on New Game Plus, you're also going to be more powerful, you know? It's probably all evens out. Do I miss chat when you're not here? Yes, I miss you guys all the time. I actually cry myself to sleep every night because I'm not talking to you guys. Expand Dog says, you hear Nintendo's Game Boy emulator for Switch was leaked. Looks like instead of GameCube, Game Boy, and GBA games are coming. Lots of games I'd be interested to see you try. Cool. Sounds good. Can I start dressing up more for streams? No. There's no point. No one would care, and no one wants to see me look better. I don't want to look better. I'm fine. I like the t-shirts. Eat more Filipino food. Well, it didn't go too well the first time, Gabby Roxas. If you remember, I ordered a bunch of dishes, including a fish dish, a noodle dish, and there was something else I ordered. And out of the 3, I only liked the noodle dish. So, I don't think I'll be buying Filipino food again anytime soon. No, I will not take my shirt off for a $200 goal. Ugh. Is this really how the questions are going to go this morning? This is what you guys have to ask me? Ugh. It's going to be one of those days. Hey, look, Rasta Phil. I would love to have that emote for you guys right now, but we need 2 more members. Ugh. Okay. Brutalk did a $4.20 tip and says, how would you defend yourself if a dog attacked you? Batman versus Superman rules, you have prep time. Well, I would immediately grow in size to immense growth and girth, and I would just stomp on the dog and turn it into paste. So you guys didn't know that I have that ability because you just see me play video games, but outside of this room I have a light as a giant. But you just don't know that. Thank you for the tip. I mean, my answer is just as stupid as the question. So why, you know what they say? You play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Well, there you go. Enjoy. Have I considered Rogaine? If my hair loss gets really, really bad, I will consider Rogaine, maybe. What's funny is my hairline is pretty much very similar to how it used to be. Maybe a tiny bit of reduction, but it was funny because someone posted up a Phil 10 years ago versus Phil now pic, and my hairline looks exactly the same. My hairline's always been bad. What's bad is I do have a spot back here in the back of my head that is losing hair. And it's slow, but it is happening. And eventually I'm probably going to have to either do something about it or say, fuck it, have a bald spot. Or maybe just every day wake up and get a can of spray paint and go, shh. So some people do. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. What's funny, though, you notice my hair is perfectly fine now on top of my head. Because remember, for years I was wearing headphones. And people were saying, Phil, looks like you're losing your hair on your head. I was like, no, it's headphone hair. I'm wearing headphones, and the headphone hair, it affects your hair badly when you wear headphones all the time. And now I haven't worn headphones since the fall. Look at my hair. It's fine. I knew it. I knew it would grow back and bounce back. It was just stupid headphones. Some people could get tattooed hair. How the fuck does that work? Tattooed hair. I don't know about that. Kyle Denson says, I will follow up on being a member when you play Halo Infinite with us. Sounds like you're not going to ever become a member, because I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it. I think, isn't the Halo Infinite update coming out? Is it tomorrow? What's today? Today's the 2nd. Tomorrow. Oh. Okay. It is tomorrow. So here's the deal. Now that I know that, because I wasn't aware, I was basically lagging behind here. Here's the deal. Here's the late streams for this week, okay? Tonight, we're finishing Bug Snacks. Wednesday, we're finishing I Am Fish. Thursday, we'll do some Skyrim. Friday, we'll do Street Fighter. And Saturday, we will try Halo Infinite Season 2. Sounds like a plan. I've actually been waiting. And now it's coming out. This is also good because this will be given an opportunity for the bugs to be worked out. If I played it tomorrow on launch day, it would probably be terrible. Well, I guarantee it. It fucking won't work right, crashing. This is what happened previously. Let it go for a few days, and I'll play it this weekend on Saturday. All right? I'll do it Saturday night, and we'll see how it goes. I'm curious to see what new maps and modes have been added. All right? And we'll go from there. Okay. No, it's not. I just said I'm not doing a fucking lobby with viewers and fans. I just said that. Stop asking. Which dumb question. You fucking deaf? I guess so. I just said I'm not doing it. Are you going to be playing with people on Saturday? Fuck you. No. Listen. Open your ears. AMC just did a super chat. Opinions on Dr. Disrespect. Truth of the matter is, I don't have any opinions on Dr. Disrespect because I've never seen his actual content outside of the clip where he got banned from Twitch. That's the one clip I ever saw. I've never seen another piece of his content. There's a little snippet of him in the Wings of Redemption documentary where he looked absolutely stupid as fuck. Just saying. Personally, do I think that acting and dressing up as a fucking cartoon character to make content people will watch is valid? I mean, if you have a skit or something, but when you literally 100% of your day are acting in order to put out content, I think that's dumb. That's my take. Obviously, he's found his niche. He's insanely popular and makes ridiculous money. So good on him. I don't know if his content is any good because I've literally never seen the gameplay content he puts out. Maybe it's super entertaining, in which case, great. Maybe it sucks, in which case, fuck. But I don't know. I don't watch him. So I have no real formulative opinion about him. Okay? What? Real fans know only trolls want you to do multiplayer. Well, it is a lot of trolls. Let's be honest here. What they want to do is they want to ruin it just like everything else that's multiplayer. I mean, hell, every week I play Street Fighter. Trolls try to ruin that. anytime I try to play Call of Duty, trolls try to ruin that. I'm actually just lucky that in recent installments, Call of Duty has made it so that every match is a new lobby. So therefore, the troll has to try to join during the match, which is very hard to do, in order to ruin it for me. You know, they just want me they want me, excuse me, to schedule a full multiplayer event so they can ruin it, and then the whole event is, oh, look what we did. We actually had impact on Phil. And that's why I don't even give them the time of day. What's the point? Why set yourself up to be trolled? It's just dumb. And that, a lot of trolls are angry about that because they want to mess with me and they want to mess with my content and they're not able to because the stuff that I do is basically, no interference possible. And they're very upset. Destiny Warrior did a super chat saying gacha games are clever to make a buck. You mean like mobile games and stuff? I mean, yeah, those are some of the most profitable games that exist right now because of their addictive formulas, right? The way the fact that everything is randomized. Most mobile games you can't just buy something you want. You buy something that's a random pull, a random chance to get something that you want. So it becomes addiction, and pretty much for the most part, it's not regulated. Who's to say that if you're in a game, and it could not just mobile game, it could be a console game too. I mean, the 2K series is very infamous for this, having the random pulls, right? Who's regulating that what they're saying is true? If they say, oh, do a random pull, and you have a chance of getting something, who's actually looking at the data to confirm that what they say is true? What if the chances are way lower than what they're saying? How would anyone know? It could be completely dishonest, You don't know what you're doing or what you're actually getting. I think it has to be regulated, quite frankly. I feel that way. All right. Anything else? Any other questions? Anything intelligent? I guess I should emphasize that. What's going on, Super Batcat? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you today. Why am I having issues with the boss? There's a million reasons. Have you not watched the boss? Gee, let's see. Let me count the ways that Malenia is insanely crazy good. Insane range, insane damage output. She auto heals whenever she hits you. She has several attacks that have 100% poise, meaning there's no way to break her out of them. Once she initiates the animation, you just have to get out of the way. Okay? 2 forms, right? Second form resetting her health bar. Second form having attacks that are hard to learn because her wings are in the way of the animation, so I'm having a hard time even trying to figure out how to hit her. I could keep going on. Do you really need me to go? I didn't even talk about Waterfall Dance, which is one of the most broken attacks I've ever seen in any game, right? Dead Zone Gaming did $1.50 tip, says, what's the worst game you've ever played? That is I don't know. I've played so many games over the years now. It's really hard to put your finger down on one and say it's the utmost worst. I mean, there's been some games that didn't even work right, and is a game that you play and it just is bad. It's a bad gameplay experience. Worse than a game that doesn't even work. I don't know. What's worse? Like some bad launch experiences. What was that one? Something of the Fallen. It was the ripoff of Dark Souls. Why can't I remember the name of it now? Something of the Fallen. I can't remember. It was so bad at launch. The game was so poorly made. They tried to make it tough, like Dark Souls, but it was not just tough. It was completely unfair. Oh, an enemy's attacking you. You get him down to like 10% health. He runs to the next room, disappears, reappears, and has full health. Wow. You're attacking an enemy. The enemy vanishes from the game. Just gone. Oh. This is really worth my time. Legends of the Fallen. No. Lords of the Fallen. It was called Lords of the Fallen. And that game was complete duty at launch. I heard they eventually fixed it. But that was one of the worst gameplay experiences I ever had at launch. Homefront: The Revolution. A game that was completely uninspired, broken as shit. They didn't even bother putting new NPCs in the game. They were all the same fucking 2 people. Also ran like shit. Oh, but that's what I mean. Like, I can see here, I can go through a bunch of the worst games I've ever played. Donkey Kong 64, fucking Amy. you know. But is there ultimately one that's the worst? Nah. Like I've told you guys, I don't like working it by absolutes. So. Romy Rowe just became a channel supporter. Thank you, Romy Rowe. Hopefully, that will count as a new sub / excuse me, I should have said new member, because I want to get us to 400 so I can add that Rasta emote. I hope we can get to 400 members on this very stream. I hope we can hit it, because I want to get that Rasta emote added. It sucks that we lost it. No, we went down. We're at 397 now, guys. 397. It's not working. We're going the wrong goddamn way. Don't you guys want to see me do a react video to either This Is How You Don't Play, or the John, Rambo, and Howard video, or another Down the Rabbit Hole? Do you not want to see that? You said the content is great and you want more of it. Well, let's hit this fucking goal right now. We'll do it right now. We're hitting it within the next 5 minutes. 53 people are going to become members. It's going to explode. That pop-up's going to go bing, 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 and we're going to hit it right now. Probably not. Okay. Just saying, to the super chat saying Ludwig versus Malenia. Ludwig is not that big of a deal. Ludwig, the reason why it was so hard for me to beat, okay, was 2 reasons. Number one, because when I played the Bloodborne DLC, my viewing audience trolled me and told me to play it New Game Plus, which was stupid as fuck. I never should have done that. It was too hard. Especially because I hadn't played Bloodborne in many months. I honestly didn't even learn the Bloodborne engine that well. I didn't understand the parry system. And New Game Plus just pushed it to another level of difficulty. There was no reason for me to play that New Game Plus at all. It was a waste of time. And then on top of that, I didn't want to play the DLC. Remember? You guys were I say you guys. I should take that back. This was so many years ago. Probably none of those people are still, you know, watching my stuff at this point. But people were harassing me, saying, you got to play the DLC. You got to play it. And I was like, but we're in the middle of the busy gaming season. There's all these new releases I'm interested in that I'd rather play. No, drop everything and play the DLC. So literally people harassed me for like 3 days. I was like, fuck this. I'll play it and get it out of the way. I rushed through it. I hated it. I got to Ludwig. He beat my ass. I said, I'm not playing this anymore. I don't care. And I dropped it. And then later, years later, when I actually wanted to do Bloodborne in a full capacity, meaning learning everything about it, understanding the engine, and basically, you know, trying to do better than the first run. Not only did I have a much better experience overall with the game, but the DLC, I was able to beat the whole thing. I was more patient, more level-headed. Ludwig was not a big deal for me in that second run. In fact, just to prove it, I beat the DLC and then went back and New Game Plus, and I beat him again on New Game Plus to prove that I could do it. So Ludwig is not a big deal. That was just a unique combination of circumstances where I played it on a harder difficulty than I should have, and I just didn't care about the DLC, so I didn't really want to learn him. I didn't, you know, give a shit. I kind of was just like, I'll just get through this. I couldn't. I was like, all right, fuck this. Back to doing stuff I want to do. What did I say? I rage quit the DLC? No, not rage. I just didn't want to play it. Like, that was literally a situation where I didn't want to play the game. And people forced me to do it, and I was like, well, fuck it. I just don't want to play it, so I stopped playing it. It wasn't necessarily I was angry at the DLC. I had no desire to play that game at that particular time. El Nino says, doesn't it behoove you to do content like reactions that people want to see? Why log it behind a members goal? It would make sense to do something like member nights for that, because then it helps the channel, right? Let's be honest here. Drama content doesn't necessarily help a business. It'll bring viewers, it'll bring engagement, but it doesn't mean that it's going to help the business overall. Just being honest here. Much like today, this stream right now, I'm about to do a hype fight against Malenia again, right? We're going to have a ton of viewers, a ton of people trolling. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to help the business at all, right? It's drama content. So you have to find a way to have it actually help. If we have to hit a milestone of support so that the drama content can happen, then the support, I already said it, support already happened, right? Now I can do the event, and it doesn't even matter if the event goes well or not, because I've already got the support that I need to keep going as a business. It's called good business. It's called you don't just do anything for free, get nothing out of it, right? And it doesn't help you at all. This is both my hobby and my job. Yes, I do absolutely love this, but I have to find ways to make a living, to pay my bills. If it means I have to find a way to monetize this kind of content, I will find a way to monetize the content. And if it means I have to hit a milestone of support to do it, then we got to hit the milestone of support to do it. It's pretty simple premise for people who have a brain. That's the problem, though. A lot of people don't have the common sense. Phil, I don't understand. Why don't you just put out everything you ever do for free? Don't monetize it. Don't make a living doing it. Just give us everything completely for free. No ads. Don't ask for any contributions. Just do it for free. Because then I live in a cardboard fucking box. You stupid idiot. It's pretty simple. Okay. I'm getting the dumbest questions now. When I start getting questions about tips on getting a girlfriend, I think it may be time to stop doing Q&A. What do you guys think? No, Tivy, that's not true. Tivy says, wasn't when you did DSP React some of the most profitable content you've done in a while? No. It was okay. it was an okay day of streaming. Like, yes, we hit our tips goals on one stream, not the other. All right. Did we get a lot of super chats and things? Yes. Okay. But was it, oh my God, over the top, insane amounts of crazy profit? No, it wasn't at all. Especially it wasn't in line with the amount of attention that it got. The stream had 1,000 viewers all day. All day. I never get 1,000 viewers all day on a stream. Never. Okay? The amount of people who watched and enjoyed versus the amount of profit that special project made is not equivalent. It was still good, and I'm happy to do it again, but it wasn't, oh my God, blow my socks off. I'm going to just do drama content from now on because I broke the bank with this. It's so crazy how much I made. That's not what happened. Did I look at the views the videos got? Yes, I did. The views are pretty good. They're not insane. Like, they're not as good as Elden Ring. They're all right. You know, they're pretty good for a project like that, something different. They trail off tremendously. Part 1 has like 14,000 views. Part 2 has like 6,000. Just think about that. So less than half of the people who watched Part 1 went on to watch Part 2. And again, people gravely overestimate ad revenue on YouTube. It's almost non-existent. On that series, I barely made anything on ad revenue. So you're looking at views after the fact, they don't really matter. You know, they don't. It's all about what's kind of made in the moment on a stream when it comes to the business side of things, you know? How was Skyrim, Jade? It was really good. Skyrim was really good last night. I had a ton of fun playing Skyrim last night. Definitely check out the videos if you haven't. Shout out to Ayrton Carson, who became a channel member this morning. Let me take another quick look and see if that helped us. Probably it means we lost another member. I know how stupid that sounds, but I swear YouTube is so weird in this regard. That somehow you just constantly lose members. Like, what's going on? We need to get back to 400 to get the emote back. Now we're at 398. So we're back where we started. Thank you to Ayrton for the membership. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. All right, guys. I think it is time to end. Whew. No, Haseo, there's no updates on gifted memberships. Last I heard 2 months ago, they were testing it on Japanese content creators' channels, like only for the region of Japan. And I haven't heard a peep about it since then. So, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let us adjourn the PreStream podcast. And today we're going to go right into Elden Ring. No break. I want to go right into this fight head first. And like E Honda doing his sumo torpedo move, I want to go straight towards the boss and see what happens. It's probably going to be a big regretful move, but I want to see what happens. All right? So let's end the PreStream and get started right now.